Hey everyone, welcome to another vlog video. Well, it's technically not a vlog. I don't even know why I'm calling it a vlog. It's more of a discussion video. So, last night I received a comment asking about my opinions on being trans. Now, that itself, that entire comment makes a lovely video idea. So, I did reply and say that I will make a video on it, and well, here it is. So, of course, it's an unscripted one. So you are going to be hearing a lot of hums and stutterings, but I'll try to be as clear as I can possibly be. So, first off, let me break the ice. I am not yet on HRT. I know that is going to be a shocker for many people because obviously I have been making videos for years. What's going on? Well, I've always wanted to. And I would say ever since I found out about transitioning, I have been really eager to get into HRT, but there's a massive hurdle ahead, and I would say that one of the main issues I would say is me, because first off, I feel like if I was actually employed for the past few years, I would have at least earned something or earned enough, so I would have at least had enough for HRT. Now I know surgery is also the next step as well. When you take HRT, it's like a lovely couple, but um, I don't need that much surgery. It's not that imperative, but I feel like maybe one or two surgeries. That's like a discussion for another video possibly. But when it comes to HRT, that's like the main meat really. So of course, when it comes to when it comes to everything, you can really just blame it on me because I'm not making such massive strides to make a difference in my life, which is unfortunate. And I'm trying to. I'm trying the best I can. But honestly, anytime I want to move forward, even if I'm socially transitioning, obviously the plan is to like socially transition and then like one day just say, okay, I'm trans. So it won't be so weird just to come out and say I'm trans. You know what I'm saying? You got to really gradually move. But um, but when I tried doing that, I remember that I'm always reeled back. For example, 2 years ago, I remember I was going to be much more bold with my approach to socially transitioning, and all of a sudden, I painted my nails, and then the week after that, I'm sick. I developed strange problems. I have a lump in my gum. I'm stressed. I'm crying. I'm so sad. I'm cold. I feel like I just want to sleep for eternity. Um, well, yeah, and then even after that problem is solved, there's more problems. I have another mouth problem, which required a lot of visiting to different places, and then it even required many different root canals, and it required also surgery, two surgeries, and I don't even want to say it's over because I don't even know if there's anything left over. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought the first surgery was done and over, but then the second surgery mean that it's done, but we don't know. We don't really know if it's completely done. We don't even know if it's 100% done. I'm afraid. I'm really afraid because it seems like I'm going over and over, and it's a long process, and it's kind of a painful process at times. So, yeah, all the mouth stuff, that's an issue. But, you know, uh, today I realized that instead of just anytime something comes at you, just reel back. Instead, just keep moving forward. Even when, even when asteroids come at you, just keep walking forward. See, that's an asteroid. I'm just walking past. Even if it hits me, keep walking, keep walking. And I know it's easy to say, hard to do, because obviously when something really hits you, you feel weak, you feel horrible, and you just reel back in. But Honestly, I feel like I'll never change if this keeps happening, you know? Just yesterday, I felt sick with my stomach, and I still feel a bit sick with my stomach, and I don't know what's the problem. I really don't know what could be the major concern inside me. But the thing is that if I just reel back in after that, it's going to feel like something else will occur in the next year after that, and the next, it'll keep going, and I feel like I have to just kind of keep moving. So what's next? I would say, well, socially transitioning. So my thoughts on transitioning, I would say, is um, I would say that when it comes to transitioning, I know that I've always wanted to transition since like 2014, but even years prior to that, I've had issues with gender. So, when 2014 came, I found out what a sex change was. Well, at least I've kind of, got the idea for a sex change, and it kind of felt like finding a missing piece for a puzzle which you supposed to complete 10 years ago. It feels so good to know that. But during 2015, 16, I would have a um, constant fight against myself, and even in 2017 and halfway through 2018, it felt like I was constantly fighting against myself. Parts of me say, "Hey, you got to do this." The other part of me says, "No, this is evil." I don't even know why I felt this way. I feel like mostly because half of me wanted to have like a different lifestyle, and the other half of me wanted to proceed with this transition. And I'm sure other people can relate to this. You keep fighting against yourself. So after that, like 2018, like the beginning of 2018, I was on set on being the most masculine boy ever. And I even had, dating profiles where I would have like these awesome hairstyles, because it felt really cool. And I'm sure a lot of people liked me because of that. But then I was like, okay, you know what? I should just accept myself as who I am. And then I just did a 180 around the middle of the year, and I changed a bunch of my pictures. And uh, I don't know if those websites are still up. I don't really know those old dating sites. I'm sure they're not up. But if they were up, obviously people would be able to find my old profiles, unless they delete your profiles, because obviously I never manually deleted them. I just stopped using the apps. See, that's the thing, So only one person knows about my transition ideas, and that's my mother, and she's not super fond of it. Um, I know that there might be more people who may not be fond of the idea of me transitioning, and that's okay. I can't change everyone's mind. I've said this before as well on a different video. I can't change everyone's mind. It's impossible. I just want to live as I am. Um, so what's next? What's really next? I would say, besides socially transitioning, it's of course, getting employed and at least earning a decent amount. I want to have enough. I don't care about if my books don't become uh, bestsellers. You know, as long as it earns a small amount, even if my books earn like maybe like 20,000 sales, or like each book will be different, obviously, but if each of them have like, you could say, an amount of sales that really can, you could say, help me earn a good living, a decent living, then that's okay. I don't care about, I don't want to care so much about like rising to the top. As long as I have like a decent amount of readers, that's fine. And as long as that amount can actually, you could say, be interested in my other types of work as well, not just one type, that would be cool. But I'm sure you'll find people who are interested in everything and only interested in a few subgenres. But anyways, enough about that. I have to make enough, so I have some extra. Have some for a rainy day. Have some money for, you could say, the transitioning process, and then have some extra money for dilly dallying, because there are certain things I like to buy like once and stuff, just for the sake of enjoyment, like books, video games, I'm not a fan of every single game, but I feel like some games I really want to try out, and I just want to enjoy myself. It's been a while since I've enjoyed myself playing games because I've been so busy with other stuff, and at the same time, I keep procrastinating. Okay, my tablet went off. Okay, I put it back on. So, um, right, so where was I? Yes, so I just have to make a decent living. Nothing like I would say you could say like a golden type of living, more something like an okay type that can get me through the years. Not something like like fancy. But hey, if I do make it to the top, that would be fantastic. But let's not kid ourselves. I could never make it to the top. Okay, so yeah, I feel like it's mostly my problem um for not saving well and just not thinking ahead, or you could say thinking ahead, but then being afraid of every single thing that comes at you. So, hold on. Let me adjust my. Okay, there we go. Um, anyways, it seems that anytime I want to change, I always feel like I end up on the same spot where I began. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. Okay, so um, what else can I really say about myself? Hmm. Regarding the transitioning process, I know it's gonna be tough, but it's okay, I guess. So the next step I would say is just socially transitioning and seeing where that takes me. You know. So yeah, I guess my views on transitioning is that, well, on me being trans, on me wanting to transition, sorry, it's something that I've wanted to do for years, and obviously, as the years progress, I do see a lot of people transitioning, and I always think, wow, that's so wonderful. Like I have made hundreds of videos on trans women. Okay, you guys can just check my channel. You can see the amount of videos I've made, and many of them transition just like that, just within a snap. But it's a long process for some people, and some people, if you watch their videos, like if you watch other people's channels videos, and you just, you read their story, you get to realize that many of them were also on the same page as me, fighting this feeling, fighting these emotions. But eventually, they transition. Some of them also transition pretty late, and honestly, you know, that's not a bad thing. Any age when you transition to a woman, that's wonderful, as long as you're happy. But the problem I also have is fighting for too long, because I've wanted to transition since I was what age? Can't even remember. Like, what year was I in 2014? I think like 12. I think I was 12 at the time, and obviously, you know, teenagers and stuff can't really transition, or at least, in some places they do transition, like in Brazil, I think they can, and I feel like that's because the uh, the age of consent is a bit lower, so they can. Or certain rules are a bit different, but still either way. I was thinking, you know what? Once I become older, like 20, I'll start transitioning, and now I'm 23. I'm 23 and I haven't transitioned yet. It's sad, really sad. So um, I really want to have like this big timeline and show you guys what I really want to do per each month, and tell you the extent of what I'm going to do, and how I'm going to do it, which will lead to my transition. But when it comes to planning things, it's just way too difficult. So I'm just going to ride with the wind, and hopefully it takes me to my destination, my HRT destination. Anyways, so I'm not sure if I answered the question correctly about my opinions on being trans, but I feel like it's something that many of us do feel, and many of us do, you know, choose to transition over time. Over time, we accept it and we just live a new life. And sometimes our lives end up being something totally different than our lives prior. Um, I feel like that's an interesting move. What I like, what I like, um, is the before and after. When you have you have the before, when this one wait, we'll just use anyone as an example. Really, think about anyone in your mind who possibly transitioned, even if it's someone online, which that's all I know, people online. So their before photos and before life was like a total different story, a total different scenario. And then when they transition, it's like a new life. You can tell that they're blossoming, they feel happy. And yeah, that's interesting. That's really interesting. It's like they're just like total different person. And I love it. I love seeing that. But sometimes you'll also have I would say people who won't change 100%. They may change like 60 or 70%, but still change is going to happen eventually. And I feel like it's kind of strongly connected to transitioning. You're not just changing yourself, but you're changing your entire, you could say, or mostly most of yourself, really. So anyways, it's 16 minutes in. This video is really long. I'm sure you guys would have noticed the quality of the video, which is like 720. Now, the reason why I'm choosing 720 is because of the fact that it's like 2 gigs for like a 20-minute video to render, which is ridiculous, I know. um, for like 1080p or 1444, I think, or maybe 1080p, really. I don't really know the full details, but so I chose yesterday on my previous video 720, and the audio will be the same, but it's just the video, the background, like the stuff. Yeah, you guys don't really need to see this. um, but anyways, I just hope it doesn't mess with the audio as much, because sometimes it can mess with the audio. Anyways, hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope that answered. Okay, no, I don't think I did answer the question. My thoughts on being trans, being trans. And I feel like I would say, for me, transitioning into a woman is just normal. I see that as a normal thing. And the more I make these type of videos, the more I embrace this, the more I enjoy it, and the more I say I see it's just normal. So yeah, that's my opinion. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I don't want to edit this video. That's why I tried making this video like 10 times, because when it comes to editing, it's just annoying sometimes to listen to yourself. Anyways, bye-bye.